So in this video, we can see the details regarding address bus or address data bus in 8085 architecture. Okay. So now see the microprocessor architecture is having one internal data bus, like you can see the laser point now. Yeah. See, this is the microprocessor architecture, like where the internal data bus is there. Okay. Data bus is nothing but if you want to add 5 plus 4, that is 9. Okay. 5 is the data, 4 is the data. Okay, you need to give the whole data, I mean the operands, 5 and 4 are the operands we are so far calling. So that data has to be placed in this internal data bus. Okay, from the internal data bus itself, the microprocessor can take the data in to anywhere. I mean, we can just move the whole data into P register or C register, or if it is opcode means we can give into instruction register. We can move on to accumulator. After performing the ALU operation, the ALU will post the same result into that internal data bus only. This is a common area, okay, where we can post the data and we can pick the data. Okay, very simple. There is 8-bit wide and address bus. Okay, see, we are having 8-bit address. Okay, we are having 8-bit address. 16-bit address. We can access 16-bit address. Okay, which means we are having 16 pins of address. Okay, literally speaking, you can understand by means of this representation. Okay, so this is considered, this is 8085. Okay, so this can be connected with one large memory device. This is what we are called as memory device. Okay, so in hexadecimal point of view, I am telling the starting address of this memory location is 4-digit 000H. Okay, and ending address will be, what will be the ending address in hexadecimal? F. Okay, so this is what we are called as 0000 to FF. Okay, this is what the memory device we can add up with the 8085. Okay, so by the way, we can connect one bus. I mean, we can access the individual locations. Okay, so for example, this is 000 location. Okay, this is 000 location. Kindly understand that this is 000 location. Okay, yeah. In this location itself, there will be a data, XY data is available. Okay, so inside the specific location, there will be a data called XY. If this XY data is demanded by 8085, okay, if the 8085 is required this data, it has to go to where? This address from this whole memory device, and it has to take the data. Okay, so while accessing the memory, it has to address for 0000. It has to go to the address and search, and there it will get the data called X and Y. If suppose there will be an address location called 2500, say for example 2500 itself, there will be another data called YH. Okay, so if the microprocessor is required this data, it has to call upon this address location. I mean, it has to go to this address location and it can take this YH data. Okay, it is a process. So microprocessor is programmed by, it is having the capability, it is not programmed, it is having the capability of calling 16-bit addresses. Okay, so this amount of memory we can add. Okay, so FF, which means hexa to decimal. Yeah, we can convert in online itself. So yeah, I'm giving my hexadecimal number FF. Okay, it means convert. This is 65536. Okay, 65536. 536 amount of data. 65, 6553 0, including 0, it will be 6. Okay, 65536. So I'm going to take my calculator. 65536 divided by 1024. 1024 is nothing but 1 MB. So this is 64. Okay, so this is equivalent to 64 MB. Okay, kindly understand that with the 8085 microprocessor, you can add 64 MB of data, 64 megabytes. Okay, we are using several gigabytes of RAM and ROM devices, but you can see that the microprocessor can able to produce 16-bit address. So 16-bit address means possible 16-bit address starting from 00 to FF. So this 00 to FF, whole FF stands for 65536 bits. 65536 bits is equal to 64 MB. Okay, so 1 MB is equal to 1 MB is equal to 1024 bits. So I am dividing by 1024. I am getting 64 MB as a whole memory. This is the possible memory device we can connect with the 8085. Okay. Let us understand that there are 16 bit of address. 4 digit means 16 bits. Okay, 4 digit means 16 bits. Okay, so this is the very important thing we need to note, that 8085 can connect with the memory device which is having 16 bit address length. Okay, we can connect with 64 MB of data. Okay, I think it is understandable. Okay, so its address bit is 16 bit addressable, but we told that 8085 is 8 bit processor. We are saying, so the address bus can be divided into two 8 bits. So 8 bit plus 8 bits, we can divide the 16 bit, A0 to A15. A0 to A15, there are 16 bits. Okay, so we can divide the 16 bit address into two 8 bits, which means A0 to A15. Okay, yeah, A0 to A17 is a lower order address bus. A8 to A15 higher order address bus. Okay, so this is address bus A8 to A15 address. This is address or data bus, we see now. Along with the lower order address, data is multiplexed. What is data here? You can see the microprocessor is accessing the address location 2500. Okay. From the 2500 itself, there will be an 8-bit data called YH. So this is address, this is data. So during the manufacturing process itself, just think that address, higher order, lower order, and separately data. So it takes 3 different buses. Okay, 2 buses for address accessing, 1 bus for data. So in order to reduce this complexity, this hardware complexity, they have Intel, they have produced some intelligent hardware part called address or data multiplexed bus. Okay, see, along with the lower order address bus, whatever the data to be read by the same microprocessor is get multiplexed. Multiplexed means mixed through the same path itself. See, through the same path itself, D0 to D7 data is included. So the address bar, this bus is called as address bar data bus AD7, AD0 to AD7. So through this bus, data is coming, address lower order is coming. Through this bus, address higher order is going. Okay, so this is the concept of address bus and address bar data bus. Okay, so microprocessor have to understand which is address, which is data. Through this bus there will be a data, okay, 25YH. Likewise there will be an data means number, okay, 25 or YH. Okay, microprocessor has to understand it is address, it is data. Likewise it has to understand, is it not? So that there will be a signal called ALE, address latch enable, 8-bit wide bus which is capable of carrying both address and data. Address and data both are going to the same hardware path, but it is not simultaneously. So the 8085 has to discriminate what is address, what is data. Whether this is address, whether this is data has to be identified separately, so that there will be in selection signals available, address latch enable. So let us assume this is address, this is data, this is the ALE signal. So it will give some flag like signal it set 1 whenever the address is sending through 18 to 87. If through the address bar data bus the address is sending means ALE will be 1. Through the address bar data bus data is sending or receiving means the signal is set as 0. So by checking the ALE, 8085 can understand at any time through the bus now address is going or data is going. Okay, so this is very important 2 mark question. What is the purpose of ALE? Okay, so this is very important concept. See, I can give you the clear cut idea by this slide. Yeah. See, we are having our program in our hand, like this is the program in our hand. Okay, from 2500 itself we need to take the opcode. 2501 itself we need to take the 05 as a data, and 2502 we need to take the 05 as another data. Okay, so 2500, this is the memory. Okay, this is the whole memory we have connected with the 8085. Okay, what we have to do, we have to initiate the microprocessor by giving this starting address. Okay, we have given the address. Let us assume the microprocessor will do in the way this address higher order bus will send the higher order data. Okay, this address bar data bus is sending the data, I mean sending the address value 00. This is higher order, this is lower order. Okay, what you have to do, first you have to go to the address location 2500. From the 2500 you need to take this value. Okay, so initially through this address bus 25 will be sent out. This through this address bar data bus 00 will be sent out. Okay, so we have connected memory device with the microprocessor. So the selected memory location is 2500. In 2500 what we are having 15 as an opcode. Okay, so after selecting this 2500 memory location, the data is now extracted. What? 15 is the data available at the location 2500. So now this is data. Data has to be taken inside to the microprocessor, is it not? So through this data bus itself, the data is coming. Okay, until the ALE is set as 1, now the data is entering into the microprocessor. Now the ALE is get 0. Okay, so now it is indicated as data. The data is traveling through this path and going to internal data bus, and immediately it is reaching the instruction register and instruction decoder, and this will intimate the ALU we need to perform addition operation. ALU is ready for addition operation and is expecting the data to other operands we need. Then address incrementer and decrementer is available. This address incrementer and decrementer will increment the address as 2501. 2501 is the next address, is it not? 2501 we are having one operand 05. So by accessing 2501, now it will be 2501. Okay, So after going to that 2501 location, there will be in data 05. That data will be sent through this path. Now the ALE will be 0. Okay, until accessing the location 2501, the ALE is 1. After reaching the location and it is going 0, while accessing the data it is going 0. This is the symbolic representation of accessing opcode and datas. So address and datas. Now the data 05 is coming towards this bus and it can be reached, it can reach temporary register, and now one more address incrementer 02 is there. So 2502, one more 05 data is available, is it not? Okay, so now that 05 is coming towards this bus and reaching the accumulator. These two fellows are giving two operands to the ALU. That ALU is performing the result and storing the status, and the result is available in accumulator itself. This is the process. Okay, so this is the one function we have completed. The next function we are having 2503, we are having subtraction operation. So the next instruction to be executed, the address of the next instruction to be executed will be given by the program counter. Now again it will go 2503. So opcode, data and ALU execution, this is the process. Okay, so the program is written on a specific location. You have told that starting address of that program. The microprocessor is responsible for read all the program content in that memory location one by one, and where the number of operations can be monitored and controlled by program counter. This is the only thing we need to understand, we need to realize from the architecture point of view. Okay, then there will be a block called last block, timing and control unit. Timing and control unit is a very important block because this is overall control signals are produced by means of this timing and control units. So if you are reading the opcode, you may get this doubt during this lecture. You may get this doubt. Okay, from 2500 there will be in data 15. Okay, I am mentioning it as opcode. 2501 itself there will be in data called 05. I am mentioning it as data. For ourselves we are mentioning opcode. This is data, this is opcode. Likewise I am mentioning. How the microprocessor is just understanding this is opcode, this is 05. So that is the very important thing. Okay, the microprocessor should not take this 15 as a data. It has to understand 15 is an operation code. Okay, so in order to understand this logic, there are several signals are available. Now the opcode is insetting into the microprocessor. Now the data is coming. Likewise, that indication will be given through some signals called S0, status signals, S0, S1. Okay, just refer this table. See, fetch is nothing but opcode fetch. Okay, fetch is the cycle is nothing but opcode fetch. Opcode fetch means the data taken from the memory, that is 15, is an opcode. It is indicated by means of these two signals S0, S1. If it is 1, 1 means the incoming value is opcode. It is the fetch operation, opcode fetch operation. If suppose it is 0, 1 or 1, 0 means we are writing the data or reading the data. Okay, in previous example itself we are reading from the memory, is it not? 0505 is read from the memory itself. So during that read operation, these two signals will be 1 and 0. This is the status of this signal. If you are writing the data into that memory, okay, instead of reading from memory, you are just storing the information to the, after calculating the value, okay, after calculating 5 plus 5, that the answer will be 10. That answer will be stored on a specific memory location, means what you are doing, 8085 is storing the information to that memory. Is it not? So For the purpose, what we are doing, we are writing the memory. So during that, write operation is there. So 0, 0 is nothing but nothing. Okay, there is no operation carried out in 8085. So there is a symbolic representation. So with the help of these two signals, we can discriminate the opcode from the data. Okay, actually this is the indication. Okay, this is the indication by means of microprocessor. So during fetch operation, it will set the S0 S1 as 1 1. During write operation or read operation, it will be 0. It will be 1 0 or 0 1 respectively. Okay, so this is what status signal. One more status signal is nothing but we can connect directly. We can connect memory device with the 8085, or otherwise we can connect our keypad or LCD display with the 8085. I mean IO devices. Okay, IO slash M bar. This is the signal IO slash M bar. This signal is 0 means 8085 is communicating with the memory device. If suppose this signal is 1 means the 8085 is communicating with the IO device. This is for the simple concept of understanding IO accessing or memory accessing. Okay, so I am telling about these three signals S0, S1, IO slash M bar. So with the help of these three signals, where we are working, whether memory device or IO device, it can be cleared. S0, S1, with the help of S0, S1, we can understand whether we are giving opcode to the microprocessor or whether we are reading or writing the data into the microprocessor. So this is the status signal. And ALE already we discussed it. This is for the purpose of ALE is for what? ALE is nothing but address latch enable. So it is a selection signal in address data bus. Read bar, write bar. Yeah, if you are reading the information from the memory or IO device, this signal will indicate. These are all the some signals. Okay, so in order to intimate, the 8085 is reading the data. 8085 is writing the data. Each and every information is intimated through this signal only. So it is outgoing signal. Everything whatever we have seen is outgoing signal. Kindly note that. Okay. So 8085 is telling to you, I am fetching the opcode. I am accessing the memory. I am accessing the address data bus. Now address is going. After that data is coming. I am reading the memory. I am writing into the memory. Likewise, it is what? Intimating us. Okay. This is hold and hold acknowledgement. This is what this is for the purpose of what? Direct memory accessing. Yeah, you can see direct memory accessing purpose. If suppose another device is supposed to calling you, calling your attention to access your data. Without your ALU's interruption, it has the data from B register or D register. Okay, so whatever the data has to be given through ALU only. Okay, so without disturbing the ALU, I am asking the data whatever available in H register. Means, okay, this is what we are called as direct memory accessing. Okay, so for the purpose, I am requesting the 8085 through this pin hold. If the 8085 is ready for direct memory access, it will give the hold acknowledgement, HLDA. Okay, I am ready. I am granting permission for DMA access. So likewise, if I am requesting through hold, it will respond through hold acknowledgement. Okay, if you want to reset the microprocessor, okay, you can reset factory. Reset factory in your mobile phone or laptop, reset everything. Okay, whatever the data is available in your system, that will be deleted. So that is what we are called as reset factory. So reset pin, through the reset pin, by giving some active low signal, you can erase whatever the content available in microprocessor, and you can send the reset signal from the microprocessor itself. If you want to reset some other devices connected with the microprocessor, if you want to reset those devices, you can send some reset out signal also. So it is outwards, this is inward. Okay. Now ready is nothing but if you any hardware signal, hardware part is want to communicate with what with 8085 means it will give the signal through ready pin, and you can send the clock pulse to other hardware parts also. This is possible by means of clock out pulse. So this is a very important timing and control unit. By means of this only, the 8085 is telling us I am doing fetching cycle, I am doing data reading cycle, I am doing data writing cycle, I am working with memory unit, I am working with IO unit. Okay, I am sending reset signal to that hardware. I am doing what? Hold DMA access. Likewise, everything is um, stated with the help of this block only. Okay, so with this, I think these are all the very basic uh, concepts in 8085 architecture. Yeah, one thing we forgot to talk about interrupt control unit. This is the interrupt control unit. In order to communicate with the external hardware, interrupt is nothing but disturbance. Okay, while executing one program, if there is any interrupt coming from the other hardware parts, okay, it should be taken account. Okay, should be considered. Okay, if there is any emergency case means we have to take there also. Okay, if you are executing any current program, we have to access, we can any hardware device. For example, now I am working with my laptop. Okay, my batteries get drained. Okay, how the interrupt signal is working? Okay, if I am working with PowerPoint means the battery, I mean the interrupt signal coming from the battery is interrupting my laptop, and the signal message is coming here. Your battery is getting low. This is called what we are called as interrupt concept. Okay, I am executing one main program called PowerPoint accessing. Okay, the battery, we need to put the charge immediately for the battery. This is very essential thing. This is the emergency condition. So the processor has the processor should intimate this to the user. So it has to interrupt the main program and deliver the message like your battery is getting low. Okay, so this is what the interrupt concept. There are several interrupts are available. So all the interrupts can be controlled by means of this block. And the next, there are 5 interrupts are available: INTR, reset 5.5, reset 6.5, reset 7.5, and trap. One acknowledgement signal. This is for interrupt signal. So all the 5 interrupt signals are incoming to 8085. Interrupt acknowledgement is outgoing from 8085. Last one, serial control unit. SID is nothing but serial input data. SOD is nothing but serial output data. Okay, so this is for the purpose of serial communication. Whatever we are in our laptop or mobile phone, we are having USB ports. Okay, universal serial bus. So this is for the purpose of serial communication we are having in our 8085. Okay, so with these few words, we can conclude the concept of hardware architecture of 8085. Thank you.